Know about Rosa Parks, an American civil rights activist by Saurabh Singh Chauhan. Disclaimers and copyrights. While every precaution has been taken in the preparation of this book, the publisher and author assumes no responsibility for errors or omissions, or for damages resulting from the use of the information contained herein. Copyright 2023 Saurabh Singh Chauhan. All rights reserved. No part of this document may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without prior permission. Table of Contents. Chapter 1. Introduction. Chapter 2. Birth and Early Life. Chapter 3. Marriage to Raymond Parks. Chapter 4. NAACP membership. Chapter 5. Scottsboro Boys case. Chapter 6. Montgomery Bus Boycott. Chapter 7. Formation of MIA. Chapter 8. Integration of buses. Chapter 9. Move to Detroit. Chapter 10. Job with Congressman Conyers. Chapter 11. Racial Justice Activism. Chapter 12. Involvement in the Black Power movement. Chapter 13. Support for Malcolm X. Chapter 14. Medal of Freedom. Chapter 15. Death of Husband. Chapter 16. Death of Rosa Parks. Chapter 17. Funeral and Memorials. Chapter 18. Legacy and Commemoration. Chapter 19. Her Message for Youth. Chapter 20. Her Message for Society and Justice. Chapter 21. Most Important Events of Her Life. Chapter 22. Her Quotations. Chapter 23. Summary of all chapters. Chapter 24. Illustration or images. Chapter 1. Introduction. Welcome to the journey of discovering the remarkable life and legacy of Rosa Parks, an inspiring figure in American history and a beacon of courage and change. In this book, we delve into the compelling story of Rosa Parks, an ordinary woman who played an extraordinary role in the civil rights movement that reshaped the course of our nation. Rosa Parks' name is synonymous with the fight for justice and equality. Her actions, driven by a deep-seated belief in the inherent rights of all individuals, ignited a spark that set off a wave of change. Born in a time of stark racial segregation and inequality, Rosa's story is one of courage, defiance, and the pursuit of a better world. Through these pages, we'll uncover the key moments that defined Rosa's journey, starting from her early life in the racially divided Alabama of the 20th century. From her pivotal role in the Montgomery Bus Boycott to her involvement in the broader struggle for civil rights, we'll explore the events that shaped her path and the impact she left on society. But this book isn't just about history, it's about understanding the person behind the icon. We'll not only examine the significant events, but also unravel the messages she carried and the ideals she championed. Rosa's dedication to justice and equality didn't end with her activism. It extended to her message for the youth, her vision for a just society, and her profound reflections on life itself. As we journey through Rosa Parks' life, we'll encounter her own words captured through her powerful quotations and gain insights into her thoughts and motivations. With each chapter, we'll walk alongside her, witnessing the challenges she faced and the triumphs she achieved, all while contributing to a larger movement that aimed to reshape the fabric of American society. This book is an invitation to explore, learn, and be inspired. It's an opportunity to reflect on the progress we've made and the work that remains. So, let's embark on this journey of discovery and understanding as we honor the legacy of Rosa Parks, an American civil rights activist whose courage and determination continue to resonate across generations. In the following chapters, we'll dive into Rosa's life story, step by step, allowing her experiences and contributions to unfold naturally. Let's begin this journey together. Chapter 2. Birth and Early Life. 1913 to 1927. In the heart of a segregated America, on February 4, 1913, a remarkable individual was born who would later challenge the very foundations of inequality. Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks came into this world in Tuskegee, Alabama, a place where racial divisions were deeply entrenched. Growing up in such a climate, young Rosa witnessed firsthand the disparities between races, unequal access to education, public spaces, and even the basic rights that should belong to all. These early experiences left an indelible mark on her consciousness and ignited a desire for change. Rosa's family nurtured her spirit of resilience and instilled in her a sense of dignity and worth. Her mother was a teacher, and her grandfather, a supporter of Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa movement, played a role in shaping her awareness of social justice issues. These influences provided Rosa with a foundation of strength that would prove crucial in the years to come. Her early years were marked by a thirst for knowledge. Despite the challenges posed by segregation, Rosa pursued education with determination. She attended a segregated school and absorbed the lessons not only from textbooks, but also from the world around her, a world that was divided, but a world that she was determined to help mend. As Rosa's understanding of the injustices grew, so did her resolve to make a difference. The segregated buses of her hometown served as a constant reminder of the inequality that plagued society. Little did anyone know that the young woman who observed these inequalities would one day take a stand that would reverberate throughout history. In the following chapters, we will continue to trace Rosa Parks' journey, from her early years to the pivotal moment that would thrust her into the forefront of the civil rights movement. Through her unwavering commitment to justice and equality, Rosa Parks would show the world the power of an individual's courage to change the course of history. Chapter 3. Marriage to Raymond Parks, 1932. In the midst of a racially divided society, Rosa Parks' path crossed with that of Raymond Parks, a barber and fervent advocate for civil rights. Their union would become not only a bond of love, but also a partnership in the fight for equality. Rosa and Raymond Parks' marriage in 1932 marked the beginning of a lifelong journey together. Their shared values and commitment to justice laid the foundation for their collaboration in the struggle for civil rights. Raymond's support for Rosa's activism would prove to be invaluable in the years ahead. Raymond was a member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, an organization dedicated to fighting against racial discrimination. Through his involvement, he introduced Rosa to the organization's work, igniting her interest in advocating for change on a broader scale. As a team, Rosa and Raymond Parks navigated the challenges of a segregated world. They encountered everyday injustices that only fueled their determination to challenge the status quo. Their partnership exemplified the strength that can arise from love and shared ideals, and it would serve as a source of inspiration for others in their community. The Parks marriage stood as a testament to the fact that the fight for civil rights was not only a collective effort, but also a deeply personal one. Their shared experiences and mutual support reinforced their commitment to making a difference, both in their own lives and in the lives of countless others who faced the same injustices. As we move forward in Rosa Parks' journey, we'll continue to explore the pivotal moments that shaped her activism and her impact on the civil rights movement. The story of Rosa and Raymond Parks serves as a reminder that the struggle for justice is often carried out not by individuals alone, but by partnerships built on love, shared values, and the unwavering pursuit of a better world. Chapter 4. NAACP Membership, 1943. Rosa Parks' journey toward becoming a pivotal figure in the civil rights movement continued with her involvement in the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. This organization, dedicated to fighting racial inequality, provided Rosa with a platform to channel her passion for change. In 1943, Rosa joined the NAACP chapter in Montgomery, Alabama. This marked a significant step forward in her journey as an advocate for civil rights. The NAACP was at the forefront of efforts to challenge discriminatory practices and systemic racism, and Rosa's membership aligned perfectly with her growing commitment to the cause. Within the NAACP, Rosa Parks found a community of like-minded individuals who shared her fervor for justice. The organization's initiatives ranged from legal battles against segregation to grassroots activism that aimed to raise awareness and incite change. Rosa's involvement in these activities allowed her to contribute her energy and ideas to a movement that was gaining momentum. As Rosa engaged more deeply with the NAACP, she honed her understanding of the complex issues surrounding racial inequality. She attended meetings, participated in discussions, and collaborated with fellow activists who were equally determined to dismantle the oppressive structures of segregation. It was during this period that Rosa's involvement with the NAACP laid the groundwork for the actions that would make her a household name. Her growing awareness of the injustices faced by African Americans in Montgomery and across the nation fueled her determination to make a stand that would send shockwaves through society. In the chapters to come, we'll explore the events that led to Rosa Parks' momentous decision on that fateful day in 1955, one that would set in motion a series of events with far-reaching consequences. Rosa's membership in the NAACP not only connected her to a network of changemakers, but also propelled her toward a pivotal role in the struggle for civil rights. Chapter 5. Scottsboro Boys Case, 1930s to 1940s. As Rosa Parks' involvement in the civil rights movement deepened, she found herself drawn into one of the most significant legal battles of the time, the case of the Scottsboro Boys. This tragic and pivotal event would further shape her understanding of racial injustice and the urgent need for change. The Scottsboro Boys case emerged from a disturbing incident in 1931, when 9 African American teenagers were falsely accused of raping 2 white women aboard a train. The ensuing trial was marred by a deeply biased legal system and a climate of racial prejudice that cast a dark shadow over the proceedings. Rosa Parks' commitment to justice led her to join efforts to support the Scottsboro Boys and raise awareness about the glaring injustices they faced. The case garnered national attention, shedding light on the systemic racism that permeated the legal system and society as a whole. Rosa's involvement in this cause demonstrated her determination to address larger issues of racial inequality beyond her immediate community. Through her advocacy for the Scottsboro Boys, Rosa Parks became even more attuned to the necessity of collective action against discrimination. The case illustrated the dire consequences of a society that perpetuated racial stereotypes and condemned individuals based on their skin color rather than evidence. This chapter of Rosa Parks' journey underscores the interconnectedness of civil rights struggles across the nation. Her participation in the fight for justice went beyond the confines of her own experiences and extended to the lives of those who had been unjustly accused and persecuted. In the upcoming chapters, we will follow Rosa Parks as she takes her own courageous stand, an action that would set her on a path to becoming an indelible symbol of resistance and change. The Scottsboro Boys case serves as a crucial backdrop to the events that would ultimately lead to Rosa's defining moment, one that ignited a movement that would reshape the course of history. Chapter 6. Montgomery Bus Boycott, 1955–1956. The year was 1955, and Montgomery, Alabama, stood as a battleground for change. In this chapter, we delve into one of the most pivotal events in Rosa Parks' life, the Montgomery Bus Boycott, a watershed moment that catapulted her into the forefront of the civil rights movement. The spark that ignited the Montgomery bus boycott was ignited on a seemingly ordinary day, December 1, 1955. Rosa Parks, tired after a long day's work, took her seat on a city bus. Little did she know that her decision to remain seated would set in motion a wave of resistance that would challenge the deeply entrenched system of segregation. When the bus driver demanded that Rosa give up her seat to a white passenger, she refused, a courageous act that landed her in jail. Rosa's arrest served as a catalyst, rallying the African American community in Montgomery to take a stand against the ongoing indignities they endured on public buses. The Montgomery Improvement Association, MIA, was formed with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at its helm to coordinate the boycott. African Americans of all walks of life united, choosing to boycott the city's buses and opting for carpools, walking, or other modes of transportation. The boycott lasted for 381 days, sending a resounding message that segregation would no longer be tolerated. Rosa Parks' actions and the subsequent boycott garnered national and international attention. The nonviolent resistance displayed by the African American community highlighted the power of collective action, striking at the very heart of segregation's foundation. The economic impact of the boycott put pressure on the city to address the demands for fair treatment and an end to segregation on buses. On November 13, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional, a victory that marked the end of the boycott. The Montgomery bus boycott's success reverberated beyond the city limits, inspiring similar acts of resistance across the nation, and serving as a precursor to the broader civil rights movement. Rosa Parks' courageous act and the unity displayed during the boycott demonstrated that change was achievable through peaceful means. The chapter on the Montgomery bus boycott is not just a reflection of Rosa's personal journey. It encapsulates the transformative power of ordinary individuals coming together to challenge injustice and pave the way for a more just and equal society. In the chapters ahead, we will explore the aftermath of the boycott and Rosa Parks' continued involvement in the struggle for civil rights, as her actions continue to inspire and motivate generations to come. Chapter 7. Formation of MIA, 1955. As the reverberations of Rosa Parks' courageous act echoed through Montgomery, Alabama, a new chapter in the civil rights movement began to unfold, the formation of the Montgomery Improvement Association, MIA. Led by the charismatic Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., this organization would play a pivotal role in orchestrating the Montgomery bus boycott and shaping the course of history. In the wake of Rosa Parks' arrest and the subsequent call for a bus boycott, Montgomery's African American community recognized the need for a unified front. The MIA emerged as the embodiment of this unity, a platform for collective action against the injustices of segregation. On the evening of December 5, 1955, the basement of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church became a historic gathering place. Thousands of people from all walks of life congregated to discuss their shared grievances and to listen to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was chosen as the president of the newly formed MIA. The MIA's objectives were clear: to challenge the segregated bus system and demand justice, equality, and fair treatment for all. Dr. King's leadership, coupled with Rosa Parks' act of defiance, breathed life into the organization's mission, inspiring others to join the cause. The MIA coordinated the Montgomery bus boycott, organizing carpools, distributing pamphlets, and harnessing the collective strength of the African American community. The boycott's success depended on the commitment of countless individuals who refused to relent until their demands were met. The MIA's nonviolent approach was rooted in the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi and emphasized the power of love, truth, and unity. Dr. King's eloquence and philosophy of peaceful resistance galvanized the movement, transforming it into a force capable of effecting profound change. As the months passed, the MIA's efforts bore fruit. The economic impact of the boycott sent a resounding message, forcing city officials to confront the demands for desegregation. Through unwavering determination and the unbreakable spirit of those involved, the MIA played a key role in securing the eventual victory against segregated buses. The formation of the MIA stands as a testament to the strength of grassroots movements and the power of unity in the face of adversity. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks, among others, provided not only leadership, but also an unwavering belief in the possibility of change through peaceful means. In the chapters that follow, we'll continue to unravel the complex layers of Rosa Parks' journey, tracing her role in the broader civil rights movement and exploring the legacy she left behind, a legacy of unity, courage, and the conviction that ordinary individuals can shape the course of history. Chapter 8. Integration of Buses, 1956. The resilience and determination displayed by the Montgomery Improvement Association, MIA, and the African American community during the Montgomery Bus Boycott, or FRUIT, on December 20, 1956, when a historic step towards equality was taken: the integration of Montgomery's buses. After a year-long boycott that had brought the city's bus system to its knees, the United States Supreme Court ruled that racial segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. This landmark decision marked a turning point in the civil rights movement and a major victory for the efforts of Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and countless others who had stood up against injustice. The integration of buses not only meant that African Americans could now sit anywhere they pleased on public transportation, but it also sent a resounding message that segregation could no longer be tolerated. This achievement was a testament to the power of peaceful resistance, unity, and unwavering commitment to change. The success of the Montgomery Bus Boycott and the integration of buses inspired other communities to challenge segregation in their own cities. The ripple effect of Montgomery's victory was felt across the nation, as people recognized that their collective voices could dismantle deeply entrenched systems of discrimination. Rosa Parks' act of defiance, her arrest, and her commitment to the cause became symbolic of the broader fight for civil rights. Her courage demonstrated that ordinary individuals could ignite extraordinary change. The integration of buses was not just a change in policy, it was a testament to the enduring power of courage and determination. As the pages of this book continue to unfold, we'll journey alongside Rosa Parks through the chapters of her life, exploring her ongoing contributions to the struggle for racial equality and justice. The integration of buses was a pivotal moment, but it was far from the end of her journey. The legacy she left behind continues to inspire generations to confront injustice, advocate for change, and strive for a better world. Chapter 9. Move to Detroit, 1957. Following the historic success of the Montgomery Bus Boycott and the integration of buses, Rosa Parks' journey took her to a new chapter, far from the confines of Montgomery, Alabama. In 1957, Rosa, along with her husband Raymond, made a significant move to Detroit, Michigan, seeking a fresh start and new opportunities. Detroit, known as the Motor City, was a hub of industry and a center of African American migration during the mid-20th century. The city offered the promise of jobs and a different way of life, away from the rigid racial segregation of the South. The move was not just a geographical shift, it was a continuation of Rosa Parks' commitment to change. In Detroit, she found a vibrant community of activists and advocates who shared her vision for a more equitable society. While the city was not without its own challenges, Rosa's presence served as a reminder that the fight for civil rights was not confined to a single location. In Detroit, Rosa Parks continued her activism, using her platform to raise awareness about racial inequality and social justice issues. She worked with organizations and individuals dedicated to advocating for change, contributing her insights and experiences to the broader struggle. The move to Detroit also allowed Rosa to reflect on her journey thus far and the distance she had come from her days in Montgomery. Her actions had not only sparked a movement, but had also ignited a fire within countless individuals who were now taking up the mantle of change in their own communities. As we journey through this chapter of Rosa Parks' life, we witness her resilience and adaptability. Her move to Detroit symbolized the movement's evolution, a shift from isolated incidents to a broader movement for civil rights that transcended geographical boundaries. In the upcoming chapters, we'll explore Rosa Parks' continued involvement in activism, as well as her contributions to broader conversations about racial justice, equality, and the power of collective action. The move to Detroit marked a new beginning, one that would see Rosa's impact extend far beyond the bus seats of Montgomery. Chapter 10. Job with Congressman Conyers, 1965. Rosa Parks' journey through the civil rights movement took an intriguing turn as she found herself in a role that allowed her to make an impact from within the political landscape. In 1965, Rosa embarked on a new chapter by joining the staff of Congressman John Conyers, Jr., marking a unique intersection of activism and government. Congressman Conyers, a vocal advocate for civil rights and social justice, recognized the immense value of having Rosa Parks on his team. Her reputation as a trailblazer in the fight for equality brought credibility to his efforts, and her insights offered a perspective that was grounded in the real-life experiences of someone who had lived through segregation and its challenges. In her role as a secretary and receptionist for Congressman Conyers, Rosa Parks brought her passion for change to the political arena. While her title may have been administrative, her influence extended beyond the tasks she performed. She was a living embodiment of the movement, a reminder that the fight for civil rights was not relegated to the past. It was a living, breathing force that required continued commitment. Rosa's work with Congressman Conyers allowed her to advocate for change at a different level. She engaged with constituents, listened to their concerns, and ensured that their voices were heard. Her presence in the office was a daily reminder that the struggle for equality was ongoing and that it required vigilance and action from all quarters. This chapter of Rosa Parks' journey highlights the interconnectedness of activism and government. Her role with Congressman Conyers demonstrated that change could be achieved through a combination of grassroots efforts and policy advocacy. Rosa's transition from the forefront of protests to the halls of Congress showcased the multifaceted nature of the civil rights movement. As we move forward, we'll continue to explore the ways in which Rosa Parks continued to contribute to the fight for justice. From her work in Congressman Conyers' office to her involvement in broader conversations about racial equality, Rosa's presence served as a reminder that the struggle for civil rights was far from over, a lesson that resonates even today. Chapter 11. Racial Justice Activism, 1960s–1970s. As the civil rights movement continued to evolve, Rosa Parks' commitment to justice and equality remained steadfast. This chapter delves into her ongoing efforts as a racial justice activist, demonstrating that her contributions extended beyond a single act of defiance. Rosa Parks' advocacy extended to a wide range of issues that affected the African American community. She recognized that the fight for civil rights was interconnected with broader social and economic challenges. Her experiences and insights uniquely positioned her to address these complex issues. In the years following the Montgomery Bus Boycott, Rosa Parks participated in protests, demonstrations, and campaigns aimed at dismantling systemic racism. She lent her voice to causes such as fair housing, voter registration, and equal access to education and job opportunities. Her involvement was a testament to her belief that the fight for justice extended to all aspects of life. One of her notable endeavors was her work with the Black Power movement, which emerged as a response to ongoing racial injustices. While Rosa Parks was known for her advocacy of nonviolent resistance, she recognized the diversity of approaches within the movement and supported efforts to address economic inequality and self-empowerment. Rosa's role as a racial justice activist also involved speaking engagements, where she shared her experiences and insights with audiences across the country. Her words resonated with people of all backgrounds, emphasizing the universal nature of the struggle for equality and the importance of allyship. This chapter explores the depth of Rosa Parks' involvement in various aspects of racial justice activism. Her ability to connect with different segments of society, her willingness to engage in dialogue, and her dedication to meaningful change made her a powerful advocate for justice. As we continue to trace Rosa Parks' journey, we'll delve into her ongoing impact on the movement and her contributions to broader conversations about racial equality, social justice, and the legacy she left behind, an enduring reminder that the fight for justice requires continuous effort and unwavering commitment. Chapter 12. Involvement in the Black Power movement, late 1960s. As the civil rights movement continued to evolve, the landscape of activism underwent transformation. In this chapter, we explore Rosa Parks' engagement with the Black Power movement, an era characterized by a shift in focus towards self-determination, pride, and addressing systemic inequalities from a broader perspective. The Black Power movement, which gained prominence in the 1960s, sought to empower African Americans to take control of their destinies and challenge the structures of racial oppression. While Rosa Parks was known for her commitment to nonviolent resistance, she recognized the diversity of strategies within the movement and supported the principles of self-empowerment and economic justice. Rosa's involvement in the Black Power movement was a continuation of her dedication to addressing systemic inequalities. She understood that dismantling racism required addressing both overt and underlying manifestations of discrimination. Her presence and voice within the movement underscored the importance of solidarity among activists with different approaches. While some members of the movement questioned her association with the more moderate approach of the earlier civil rights movement, Rosa Parks' participation in the Black Power movement was emblematic of her commitment to dialogue and collaboration. She believed that different paths could converge toward a shared goal of racial equality and justice. Rosa's involvement in the Black Power movement didn't diminish her status as an iconic figure of nonviolent resistance. Instead, it highlighted her capacity to adapt and engage with different strands of activism. Her support for economic empowerment and self-sufficiency resonated with the movement's emphasis on Black pride and autonomy. As we continue our journey through Rosa Parks' life, we'll explore her ongoing contributions to the civil rights movement and her unique role as a bridge between different phases of activism. Her involvement in the Black Power movement serves as a testament to her enduring commitment to justice and her ability to evolve with the changing dynamics of the movement. Chapter 13. Support for Malcolm X, 1965. The civil rights movement was a tapestry of diverse voices and approaches, each contributing to the larger struggle for equality. In this chapter, we delve into Rosa Parks' support for Malcolm X, a figure whose advocacy for Black empowerment and self-defense stood in contrast to the nonviolent approach she was known for. Malcolm X, a charismatic and polarizing figure, advocated for a more assertive stance in the fight against racism. His call for Black self-determination and his critique of integration resonated with many, particularly those who believed that nonviolence had not yielded sufficient results. Rosa Parks' support for Malcolm X was an example of her willingness to engage with differing perspectives within the civil rights movement. While she had championed nonviolent resistance and worked within established structures, she recognized the importance of unity and coalition building among activists with diverse ideologies. Rosa's support for Malcolm X was not an endorsement of violence, but rather an acknowledgement of the urgency of addressing systemic injustices. She understood that his message resonated with segments of the African American community who felt disempowered by ongoing discrimination. Despite their differences in approach, Rosa Parks and Malcolm X shared a common goal: the eradication of racism and the attainment of equality. Their willingness to engage in dialogue reflected their shared belief that the movement's strength lay in its ability to accommodate a range of voices and strategies. Rosa's support for Malcolm X was emblematic of her larger philosophy, a philosophy grounded in the belief that social change required collective action and mutual understanding. Her role as a bridge between various factions of the movement further emphasized her unique ability to transcend ideological divides. As we continue to journey through Rosa Parks' life, we'll explore her contributions to the broader civil rights movement and her ongoing efforts to effect change. Her support for Malcolm X demonstrates that the pursuit of justice is a complex and multifaceted endeavor, one that benefits from a mosaic of perspectives and approaches. Chapter 14. Medal of Freedom, 1996. Rosa Parks' impact on the civil rights movement was so profound that it extended beyond her role as an activist. She became a symbol of courage, resilience, and unwavering commitment to justice. This chapter delves into a remarkable recognition of her contributions, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. On September 9, 1996, President Bill Clinton bestowed upon Rosa Parks the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. This prestigious award was a testament to the indelible mark she had left on the nation and the world. The Medal of Freedom acknowledged not only Rosa Parks' pivotal role in the Montgomery Bus Boycott, but also her enduring dedication to the fight for equality. It recognized her as a trailblazer who had reshaped the course of history through a single act of defiance that sparked a movement. This momentous recognition not only celebrated Rosa's individual achievements, but also honored the collective efforts of all those who had worked tirelessly to dismantle racial segregation and discrimination. The Medal of Freedom underscored the significance of the civil rights movement and the enduring legacy of those who had participated in it. For Rosa Parks, the award was a validation of a life spent advocating for justice. It highlighted the impact that ordinary individuals can have on the world when they refuse to accept injustice and demand change. As we journey through the chapters of Rosa Parks' life, we'll continue to explore her contributions to the broader struggle for civil rights and her ongoing influence on generations to come. The Medal of Freedom was not just an accolade. It was a symbol of the enduring power of one person's actions to inspire and ignite change on a global scale. Chapter 15. Death of Husband, 1977. Rosa Parks' journey through the civil rights movement was not without personal challenges and moments of profound loss. In this chapter, we reflect on the passing of Raymond Parks, her husband and steadfast partner in the fight for justice. Raymond Parks had been a pillar of support for Rosa throughout their marriage, sharing her commitment to the civil rights movement and the struggle for equality. His presence provided strength and encouragement as they navigated the challenges of advocating for change in a deeply divided society. Raymond's death in 1977 marked a significant loss for Rosa. His unwavering dedication to the cause had been a source of inspiration, and his absence left a void that could not be easily filled. His passing was a reminder of the personal sacrifices made by activists and their families in the pursuit of justice. In the midst of personal grief, Rosa Parks continued to persevere in her advocacy for civil rights. Her ability to channel her sorrow into action exemplified her resilience and commitment. She drew upon the strength she had developed over years of activism to continue her work, recognizing that the struggle for equality extended beyond her own experiences. The death of Raymond Parks serves as a poignant reminder of the human side of activism, the individuals and families who bore the weight of sacrifice and loss in the pursuit of a better future. Rosa's journey was not just one of personal achievement, but also of collective effort, where the victories and challenges were shared by many. As we move forward in this exploration of Rosa Parks' life, we'll continue to witness her enduring determination, even in the face of personal adversity. Her ability to transform grief into fuel for change underscores the profound impact of her legacy and the continued relevance of her message of justice and equality. Chapter 16. Death of Rosa Parks, 2005. The journey of Rosa Parks, an icon of courage and resilience, came to a close on October 24, 2005, with her passing at the age of 92. This chapter reflects on the legacy she left behind and the impact of her life's work on the civil rights movement and the world. Rosa's passing marked the end of an era, but her influence lived on in the hearts and minds of countless individuals. Her refusal to give up her bus seat and her unwavering commitment to justice had ignited a movement that transformed the course of history. Her actions inspired generations of activists and leaders who followed in her footsteps. In the years leading up to her death, Rosa continued to be an advocate for civil rights and social justice. She recognized the ongoing challenges faced by marginalized communities and remained committed to using her voice to amplify their struggles. Her legacy was a reminder that the fight for equality was far from over, and that each generation had a role to play in shaping a more just world. Rosa Parks' passing prompted a wave of tributes and reflections from around the globe. Leaders, activists, and everyday people came together to honor her contributions and to celebrate the lasting impact of her legacy. Her life story served as a testament to the power of an individual to spark change and make a lasting difference. As we conclude this chapter, we recognize that Rosa Parks' journey did not end with her passing. Her legacy lives on in the continued fight for justice and equality, in the voices of those who refuse to remain silent in the face of oppression, and in the belief that one person's actions can shape the world for the better. The chapters of Rosa Parks' life continue to inspire us to this day. Her legacy challenges us to confront injustice, to advocate for change, and to recognize the power of ordinary individuals to create extraordinary impact. Chapter 17. Funeral and Memorials, 2005. The passing of Rosa Parks was not just the end of a remarkable life, it was an opportunity to reflect on her enduring legacy and the impact she had on the civil rights movement and society as a whole. This chapter explores the funeral and memorials that honored her life, contributions, and the indelible mark she left on the world. Rosa's funeral, held on November 2, 2005, in Detroit, Michigan, was a moment of profound reflection and commemoration. Leaders, activists, and individuals from all walks of life gathered to pay their respects and to celebrate her journey from a quiet seamstress to a global symbol of courage and justice. The funeral was a testament to the breadth and depth of Rosa Parks' impact. Eulogies and tributes emphasized not only her pivotal role in sparking the Montgomery Bus Boycott, but also her ongoing commitment to social justice throughout her life. Her legacy was celebrated as a source of inspiration for change and a reminder that one person's actions could set in motion a movement that would resonate for generations. In the aftermath of her passing, memorials sprang up across the country and around the world. Parks' contributions were recognized in a myriad of ways, from schools and streets named in her honor to museums and exhibits dedicated to preserving her story for future generations. The Rosa Parks statue erected in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, a rare honor, further solidified her place in American history. Her legacy became a symbol of the power of individual action and the resilience of those who dared to challenge injustice. As we conclude this chapter, we recognize that Rosa Parks' legacy extends far beyond her time on Earth. Her journey, from her refusal to give up her bus seat to her passing and the commemorations that followed, continues to inspire individuals to take a stand against inequality, to raise their voices for justice, and to recognize the transformative potential of their actions. Chapter 18. Legacy and Commemoration. Rosa Parks' impact on the world was not confined to her lifetime. It has transcended generations and continues to shape the fight for justice and equality. This chapter delves into the enduring legacy of Rosa Parks and the ways in which her contributions have been commemorated. Rosa's legacy is one of courage, resilience, and the power of one individual to make a difference. Her refusal to give up her bus seat ignited a movement that challenged the very foundations of racial segregation. Her legacy serves as a reminder that ordinary people can be catalysts for extraordinary change. The Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development, founded by Parks herself, stands as a testament to her commitment to education and empowerment. This institute carries forward her mission by providing youth with the tools they need to advocate for themselves and their communities. Rosa Parks' legacy also lives on through the Rosa Parks Museum and Library, which preserves her story and the history of the civil rights movement for future generations. Museums, schools, and streets named after her continue to inspire individuals to reflect on the sacrifices made in the fight for justice. In 2019, the 100th anniversary of Rosa Parks' birth was celebrated with events, exhibitions, and discussions that highlighted her ongoing relevance. Her legacy has become a touchstone for conversations about equality, social justice, and the importance of challenging injustice wherever it exists. As we reflect on Rosa Parks' legacy, we are reminded that her impact extends beyond her individual actions. Her journey has become a source of inspiration for countless individuals who continue to work toward a more just and equitable society. Rosa's legacy challenges us to be agents of change, to stand up against discrimination, and to recognize the transformative power of a single act of defiance. This chapter marks not just the end of a book, but the continuation of a legacy that will forever inspire and guide those who seek to make the world a better place. The story of Rosa Parks reminds us that the struggle for justice is ongoing, and that each of us has a role to play in shaping a brighter future. Chapter 19. Her message for youth. Rosa Parks' legacy is not merely a historical account. It is a living testament to the power of one person's actions to create lasting change. This chapter explores the messages of empowerment, resilience, and justice that Rosa Parks conveyed to the youth, a message that continues to inspire new generations to take up the mantle of activism. Rosa Parks believed in the transformative potential of young people. She understood that they held the key to shaping a better future and carrying forward the ideals of equality and justice. Throughout her life, she emphasized the importance of education, self-respect, and the pursuit of one's dreams. Her message to youth was a call to action, encouraging them to recognize their worth and potential in a world that often marginalized their voices. She reminded them that change was possible and that the struggles of the past were not in vain, but had paved the way for a brighter tomorrow. Rosa's story was a living example of how a single act of courage could resonate for generations. Her message to youth emphasized the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of adversity. She showed that individuals, regardless of age, could make a significant impact when they took a stand against injustice. As we delve into this chapter, we are reminded that Rosa Parks' message for youth remains as relevant as ever. Her legacy challenges young people to engage with the issues of their time, to question the status quo, and to channel their passion into meaningful action. Rosa's legacy serves as a guide for young activists today, showing them that their voices matter and that their actions can create waves of change. Her message for youth is a call to embrace their role as agents of transformation, to step forward with courage, and to contribute to a world where justice and equality prevail. Chapter 20. Her message for society and justice. Rosa Parks' journey was not just a personal one, it was a powerful message for society and a call for justice. In this chapter, we delve into the profound messages she conveyed about the need for societal change and the pursuit of justice for all. Rosa's actions and words spoke to the heart of societal inequalities. Through her defiance on that Montgomery bus, she challenged the status quo and demanded recognition of the inherent worth and dignity of all individuals, regardless of their race. Her message for society was a plea to confront systemic racism and discrimination head-on. She highlighted the need to dismantle unjust systems that perpetuate inequality and to create a world where everyone is treated with respect and fairness. Rosa Parks' fight for justice was not limited to a single cause or moment, it extended to every corner of society. She believed that the struggle for justice was interconnected with issues of poverty, education, housing, and access to opportunities. Her message was a call for comprehensive change that addressed the root causes of inequality. As we explore this chapter, we are reminded that Rosa Parks' message for society and justice remains profoundly relevant. Her legacy challenges us to examine our own roles in shaping the world around us and to actively work toward a more just and equitable society. Her message continues to resonate in movements for racial equality, social justice, and human rights. It serves as a reminder that the fight for justice is ongoing, and that each of us has a role to play in building a society where every individual can thrive without fear of discrimination. Rosa Parks' message for society and justice is a beacon of hope and a call to action. It reminds us that change is possible when we stand together against injustice and when we work collectively to create a world that reflects the values of equality, fairness, and compassion. Chapter 21. Most important events of her life. 1. February 4, 1913. Rosa Louise Macaulay is born in Tuskegee, Alabama. 2. 1932. Rosa marries Raymond Parks, a civil rights activist. 3. 1943. Rosa Parks becomes a member of the Montgomery chapter of the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. 4. 1944. Rosa is assaulted by a white bus driver for not exiting through the back door of the bus. 5. 1955. On December 1st, Rosa Parks refuses to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus, sparking the Montgomery Bus Boycott. 6. 1956. On December 20th, the U.S. Supreme Court rules that racial segregation on buses is unconstitutional, leading to the integration of buses. 7. 1957. Rosa and Raymond Parks move to Detroit, Michigan. 8. 1965. Rosa Parks takes a job as a secretary for Congressman John Conyers, Jr., becoming involved in political activism. 9. 1977. Raymond Parks, Rosa's husband, passes away. 10. 1980. Rosa Parks co-founds the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development, dedicated to empowering youth. 11. 1996. President Bill Clinton awards Rosa Parks the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the U.S. 12. 2005. Rosa Parks passes away on October 24th in Detroit, Michigan. These events, among others, capture the significant moments in Rosa Parks' life and her impact on the civil rights movement. Her refusal to give up her bus seat was the catalyst for the Montgomery Bus Boycott, which in turn ignited a broader movement for racial equality and justice. Her legacy continues to inspire individuals around the world to stand up against injustice and fight for a more just and equitable society. Chapter 23. Summary of all chapters. Chapter 1. Introduction. The introduction sets the stage for the remarkable life of Rosa Parks. Born in 1913 in Tuskegee, Alabama, she would go on to become a pivotal figure in the American civil rights movement. Her quiet defiance on a Montgomery bus would spark a chain of events that changed the course of history. Chapter 2. Birth and Early Life. This chapter delves into Rosa Parks' early life, upbringing, and family background. Born into a racially segregated society, she experienced the effects of systemic racism from an early age. Her childhood experiences would shape her commitment to fighting for justice and equality. Chapter 3. Marriage to Raymond Parks. Rosa's marriage to Raymond Parks, a civil rights activist, marked a turning point in her life. Their partnership was not just one of love, but of shared values and a commitment to challenging racial discrimination. Raymond's influence would be instrumental in shaping Rosa's activism. Chapter 4: NAACP Membership. Joining the NAACP marked Rosa's formal entry into civil rights activism. This chapter explores her involvement in the organization and her growing understanding of the power of collective action. Her work with the NAACP would lay the groundwork for her later pivotal role. Chapter 5: Scottsboro Boys Case. Rosa Parks' involvement in the Scottsboro Boys case showcased her dedication to justice. The case, involving the wrongful conviction of 9 African American youths, highlighted the deep-seated racism of the time. Rosa's efforts to raise awareness and support the boys marked her early activism. Chapter 6: Montgomery Bus Boycott. Perhaps the most defining moment in Rosa Parks' life, her refusal to give up her bus seat ignited the Montgomery Bus Boycott. The chapter chronicles the boycott's progression, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr. It became a pivotal event in the civil rights movement, culminating in the Supreme Court ruling against segregation. Chapter 7: Formation of MIA. The Montgomery Improvement Association, MIA, led by Martin Luther King Jr., emerged as the driving force behind the bus boycott. Rosa's role as a secretary in the organization highlighted her behind-the-scenes contributions to the movement's success. Chapter 8: Integration of buses. The integration of buses in Montgomery was a landmark achievement for civil rights. This chapter explores the Supreme Court's ruling against bus segregation and the subsequent challenges in implementing the decision. Rosa Parks' quiet defiance had set a powerful precedent for change. Chapter 9: Move to Detroit. Rosa's move to Detroit with her husband Raymond marked a new phase in her journey. Detroit offered new opportunities, and Rosa's activism continued in her new surroundings. Her presence in Detroit connected local struggles to the broader civil rights movement. Chapter 10: Job with Congressman Conyers. Rosa's role as a secretary for Congressman John Conyers, Jr. demonstrated her adaptability and willingness to engage with the political system. Her support for Conyers' efforts highlighted her commitment to change through both grassroots activism and policy advocacy. Chapter 11: Racial Justice Activism. This chapter explores Rosa's continued activism beyond her initial act of defiance. She participated in protests, demonstrations, and campaigns addressing various societal issues. Her commitment to racial justice encompassed a wide range of challenges faced by African Americans. Chapter 12: Involvement in the Black Power Movement. Rosa's engagement with the Black Power movement showcased her ability to bridge differing ideologies within the civil rights movement. While advocating nonviolent resistance, she supported the movement's call for self-determination and economic empowerment. Chapter 13: Support for Malcolm X. Rosa's support for Malcolm X demonstrated her willingness to engage with diverse perspectives within the movement. Despite differing approaches, both shared a common goal of achieving racial equality. Rosa's involvement illustrated the movement's capacity for unity, despite ideological differences. Chapter 14: Medal of Freedom. The Presidential Medal of Freedom recognized Rosa's monumental contributions to civil rights. The chapter highlights the significance of this award, which symbolized the collective efforts of activists who had worked tirelessly for justice and equality. Chapter 15: Death of Husband. The passing of Rosa's husband, Raymond Parks, marked a personal loss amid her activism. Raymond had been a constant source of support, and his absence created a void. Rosa's ability to continue her work demonstrated her resilience and determination. Chapter 16: Death of Rosa Parks. Rosa's passing in 2005 marked the end of a remarkable journey. Her legacy continued to inspire individuals worldwide. Her funeral and the memorials that followed celebrated her life and contributions, serving as a testament to her enduring impact. Chapter 17: Legacy and Commemoration. Rosa's legacy lives on through various institutions, museums, and organizations dedicated to preserving her story. Her enduring impact on civil rights and social justice continues to shape conversations about equality and inspire individuals to take a stand against injustice. Chapter 18: Her Message for Society and Justice. Rosa Parks' message for society emphasized the need for confronting systemic racism and dismantling unjust structures. Her call for justice and equality resonates as a powerful reminder that the struggle for justice is ongoing and requires collective action. Chapter 19: Her Message for Youth. Rosa Parks' message for youth centered on empowerment, resilience, and the transformative potential of individual actions. Her legacy challenges young people to engage with the issues of their time and to recognize the power of their voices in shaping the future. Chapter 20: All-Important Events of Her Life with Facts and Date. The events of Rosa Parks' life are a testament to her journey from a seamstress to a global symbol of courage. Her birth, marriage, activism, and pivotal moments in the civil rights movement are all milestones that shaped her legacy. Chapter 21: Her Quotations. Rosa's quotations encapsulate her wisdom and commitment to justice. Her words continue to inspire and motivate individuals to challenge inequality and work toward a more just and equitable world. These chapters collectively provide a comprehensive exploration of Rosa Parks' life, her contributions, and her enduring impact on the fight for justice and equality.